Welcome to Instant Discussions, Children of the Corn.
A great documentary.
Special Halloween episode, yes.
I thought we were supposed to do horror films, but...
Horror documentaries count. Yeah.
I didn't even know that Stephen King did, like, Tea Party stuff.
This film... Yeah. This film from 1984. Mm-hmm. So, traditional 80s comedy, Children of the Corn. So, synopsis of Children of the Corn. Kids are creepy, and yes. Children find religion, kill everyone.
All the adults.
Run childless survivor society where they watch too much Logan's Run. They kill off anyone once they turn 19, but they go away to He Who Walks Behind the Rose, and then some outsiders come in, and they're like, we gotta save these children from this fictitious, oh wait, no, it's not fictitious, it's real, and it's killing everyone! And then they burn it and all that good stuff. So, yeah, Children of the Corn. That pretty much sums it up. Yeah. Based on a Stephen King novel, Children of the Corn.
The ending is different too.
Oh.
You haven't read it, you liar.
No, I haven't, but I read that the ending was different.
You didn't read that either, you liar.
Alright, if someone told it to me, but still.
Gotcha.
It's funny because it's true.
So this film, no one really picked this film. We didn't pick it. Kind of all decided by committee.
I think I kind of pushed for it because I love this movie.
I was excited to see your comment on Facebook that having your son watch it for the first time. That was...
Yes, I watched it with my son, and he said he was... I originally thought it was 1985, so he said he was surprised that an old movie could be so good, a new movie from 1985. And I was like, hey. And then he asked me... hey, there was a color TV back then? And I was like...
I like that. Well, the thing is, the short story was from 1977. The movie, I didn't know what year exactly it came out. So I was, by the beginning of it, I was thinking, okay, it could be late 70s or early 80s. Once you get to the end of it, then it's, okay, this is 80s because there was a specific point in time where that kind of CGI was being used at the end. And they quickly stopped doing that.
The cartoon.
If you've ever seen the Stephen...
I wasn't disappointed in it.
Anyway.
Well, for the year, I mean, that's what they had to work with.
We'll go with good stuff first. So, favorite things about this movie.
It's to me, it really held up.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't watched this in a while. It used to be my sister and we would watch it and we would always, like, quote it.
I love the way that the main Outlander acted, because he...
We have your woman, Outlander! Outlander!
Which then made me only think of South Park.
Yes, yeah. And we're waiting for him to say, we have your woman, and we're like, come on, say it, yeah!
Well, this is such a classic that it's been portrayed in things like South Park and Simpsons so heavily. So then all you think watching this is the references made afterwards. But what I really loved about him was there's so many things that are done in horror movies, typical horror movies, where the protagonist is really stupid, but while they make mistakes in this one, because he's a doctor, I really like the way that when they first hit the first kid, and he's like, he goes to inspect him, checks him, it's like, oh, it looks at the coagulating in the blood, it's like, alright, this kid was already dead. Like, he's not just getting freaked out at the first sight, they make it believable because you've got a doctor there, and he's thinking these things through.
For that year, that was pretty realistic.
Yeah, it was. I thought I believed those characters.
It didn't fall to that cliche.
Yeah, which was really nice.
There's maybe a moment or two.
Now it does have the horror cliche brought back in Cabin in the Woods with the gas station. And
I want to go down that road.
Exactly. I want to go down there.
It also had the creepiest kid ever.
Yes.
In the history of mankind. Right when that kid popped up, my son was like, oh my, what is that? I'm like, it's a kid.
That's an Amish kid. He was 20.
Oh, was he 20?
He definitely looked like he had to have been a diminutive person, small person, midget. Yes, it was that kind of Mickey Rooney look.
Yeah.
When you're looking at him, we were like, that's not a normal kid.
When I first saw him, I thought he just had makeup on, and that made him look old.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Which I think is a good way to play that character, because he's got to stand out as not being a normal kid. Plus, it's able to get better acting out of it than you could for a lot of the little kids. Although the kids in this one did a pretty good job.
I don't know. Malachi was bugging me though.
He did, but that's because he's a ginger. I think. I think it was his gingerness.
His lack of a soul.
Hey, what's behind the rose, Isaac? And I was like, oh god.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he was terrible. But yeah, that acting the main
That kid was
Isaac. Yeah, he was.
And then the Terminator chick.
Yeah.
There were certain times where I was like,
Yeah, but she was good in that.
I like the little kids though.
Was there? Let's see. One favorite moment though, if you could pull out.
I got mine.
Okay.
Go for it.
It's right at the beginning. It's right at the beginning. What's your wish? Live happily ever after. Is that a proposal? No. That
She keeps-
I busted out laughing so.
There's a few moments in it where
hard.
she's like wanting, and he's like, nah.
No. No, that wasn't that is not how living happily ever after happens. I don't marry you. I'm like, go to hell. Get out of here. That I just couldn't stop laughing.
That was good.
I think I like the opening kill scene.
The opening kill.
Yeah, because I mean, it played out well because they go for the poison at first, and anybody left over, they went ahead. And
The way the one kid reacts to it though, because you're looking at that, he's like not really like doing anything. Just hanging around. And that part was a little interesting, but you can imagine that he's in on part of it as well. I'm trying to think of
The strawberry milkshake.
Yeah.
Drink your milkshake.
Him?
Yeah.
I don't think he was in on it.
But he didn't react crazily to it. I thought he would have reacted.
I think he was.
He
I
could
think,
have.
I think the acting direction was just
Either
that he
way.
was stunned and he did
That could
He
be
was
it.
so flabbergasted.
I didn't think it was
He didn't.
bad necessarily that he didn't do that. It was just interesting.
That happens a few times in this film where they just don't scream.
Yeah. Children's pictures were good.
Sorry, I'll keep
great
the good stuff.
moment. I don't know. There's so many great moments. This is one.
You know what I really liked?
Out.
That I was, for some reason, I like when just all of a sudden there was random like corn stalks.
Yes.
Like it was just like boom in the car, and you're like, oh wow,
The car got corned. The
I just thought
crazy
that was
corn
like-
Jesus pictures.
yeah.
I just thought that was weird. I was like, that's how kids do that? Oh, okay.
Well, is it the kids doing it or?
I figured for some reason that it was just like the kids.
It could be, or
Because
the
there was
thing
no-
is that now you know that he who walks behind the rose is this living thing, so it could be.
Not at the time.
But it could have still been a thing.
The first supernatural thing that occurred was when he goes to walk into the corn and the corn splits.
It split earlier though in the movie.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it had been splitting from the beginning. I had
Very,
seen
like,
it move.
like very slightly at the when the kids
Yeah, when the kids
through.
running away.
Yeah.
I thought it was just wind or something.
You could. I think that's like they make you think it's just the way it is. No. Yeah. So there's that craziness in there. So let's go with flaws. Flaws in the movie.
I'll talk about the movies there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I had watched when I was younger. We went and my sister and I were watching a whole bunch of Stephen King movies because we were really into a lot of his works because he's kind of a genius. Really great storyteller. I was just watching the remake of Carrie, and even with the new version, it's still that classic story. You look at it, you're like, I'd forgotten. I'm like, yeah, Stephen King is a great storyteller. So I had watched the first version of The Stand, made for TV miniseries, and it ends at the end with some terrible CGI, and that's kind of how I felt on this one, though I wasn't as put off by it, but it was still just reminding me of that early 80s CGI where if you look at other films of the same time, you look at things that Kubrick was doing, there are other directors that would have gone different ways, made things work in ways that they didn't have to use that and make that look like the end visuals. Or if they see that, they're like, all right, let's reshoot this, let's do some miniatures, let's do something where we
shit,
don't have to make
that's
it look
why.
that bad. Yeah, the budget is $800,000.
Oh my lord.
They did not have a big budget for special effects on this movie at all. Even for '84, that's crazy for $800,000. So even still, like I would have done something different than
No,
that.
yeah, you could have done something different that was cheaper.
Yeah, it's one thing
Or
to
at least
say
even
forget
let
it
it-
for the time, but you just look at Star Wars. Like, a 1977 Star Wars did not have that bad of CGI in it because they decided to do miniatures where they needed to. Until later, we could music Jar Jar.
The bad for me was just Malachi. Malachi was throwing me off. And just
some of his stuff is good because he's the strong guy, and you get that fight between him and Isaac, and it's good to have that character. But it would have been nice if he wasn't.
It's such they're listening to records. Yeah, man. And I was like, oh god.
How about you?
I'll bring this up later. There is a point I was about to bring up, but I think that'd be good for extended. For me, I don't know. For me, I mean that's
nothing really.
It's nothing. Nothing stood out.
Okay.
In the bad way.
Okay. Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
As in, for me, most of it was bland, and so like nothing terrible stands out because it's most of it.
It was just pretty dry for you.
Yeah.
The whole way through that.
I laughed more than I laughed pretty much. I had moments where I was just laughing or not.
It was some funny stuff.
But it wasn't. But it didn't feel like it was intentionally like it was supposed to be funny. I just like the proposal. Like I was like, that's awful. And I was just like, that's so great and so funny. And but I don't think it was intentional.
Corn Jesus was funny. That was creepy.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah. The horrible CGI at the end.
And Malachi.
Yes. So ratings for this movie.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4. A lot of that 4 is for the story and for. It isn't that. Although, I don't know. I kind of have to give that 3.5 because of that terrible CGI. I just don't forgive that stuff. That was so bad.
Are you gonna give it a 4 because of the budget and knowing?
Yeah, I mean, no, because you work around that. You don't have to do the CGI. There's so many other ways you can go about it. That's a bad choice. It's the
they could have covered him in something and then like just put it in reverse.
Yeah, I'll ramble more about it. What's your rating? I know it's gonna be low.
Does it say 2.5?
Let's see how.
No, 2.
2?
Yeah, I mean, for me it was a lot of fun. I laughed at a few moments, but that was my entertainment in the film. And I can I give it to you knowing like, yeah, okay, I recognize that this isn't just a pile of crap, but
yeah.
Alright. Unlike In-Betweeners. It's my only one, I think.
Alright, Children of the Corn, not a pile of crap. That's a good review.
Steffan Munsinger. That's not a pile of crap on the.
That gives a positive on Rotten Tomatoes, I think. From you saying that this.
No, I'd give it a negative because it's don't like.
Would you say it was a little corny?
That
was very funny.
Alright, thank you for watching this quick condensed corn. I don't know. Thank you for watching.
Hope it was nice and starchy.
And resume.
Bravo.
So, next week, the film that I am going to pick, there's so many great films on Netflix to pick, and now that it's not October anymore, after this episode, I couldn't really pick a horror film, or didn't feel like it. No, I'm not picking Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return, even though it is on Netflix.
Really?
Now, yes. Funny enough, I requested it to be on there. Anyway, long story.
Oh, man.
But I'm going to say right now, the movie I'm not picking, but I do recommend, if you like stupid comedies, and you've got a spare hour and a half, check out Movie 43.
Oh, yes.
It didn't it was not popular in theaters. I went and saw it. I didn't expect it to be good. I liked it. I laughed. Check it out. It's not terrible.
You said silly comedies?
It's stupid, silly comedies. It's kind of like Kentucky Fried Movie.
Like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it's actually made by Girly Brothers.
It's just like
sketch comedy, creative people. Movie 43.
Hilarious.
But that's not the one we're going to discuss. We're going to do one that's a little more in depth. This is on my list of my favorite movies. Although it's been a while since I've seen it, so we'll see if it actually still is. But Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You don't know that movie?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Good. You both haven't seen it. That's good. I'd say don't read the description.
I won't.
It's about a popular
I don't think I've seen it.
It's about a real life game show host. Famous game show host.
I might have seen it.
Yeah, you might have seen it. But yeah, we'll discuss this next week. It's some good stuff. I say check that out. Confessions of the Dangerous Mind next week. And stay tuned for the extended edition of this episode, or click on whatever links that I post next to this, or listen to the podcast. Thanks. Thanks for listening and watching. And I'm going to hate editing this. Good night. We'll continue on with our extended discussion of rambling about terrible CGI.
Right
Right after this.